Now, officials of the striking university lecturers have this morning appeared before the Senate Committee on Education to make a case for their industrial action. The dons, who are demanding for better pay, are now on their third week of the strike. Let's listen into the proceedings earlier on today.
I want to say that as a union, we are requesting not to be restricted to the global figure of 10 billion. We should be given free hand to negotiate. Then thereafter, the Ministry of Education to work a budget and take to Treasury. Two, as a union, we are saying we don't want to negotiate for the employer's pension component because we have never done it. Our members are ready to pay their part, which is 10%. The employer to look for funds to cater for the 20%. More importantly, the pension schemes are different. There are some who pay 2010, there are some who pay 15, 7.5, there are some who pay 10 and 5. So when IPCF goes for a uniform figure of 20%, what will happen to these people who pay 15 and 7? Because their members are not permanent and pensionable. And they are also high. They are 20% from the 10 billion. I think you can see there's a problem there. So this 10 billion, let us not be restricted to negotiate about the 10 billion. But we are saying we should be given a free hand to negotiate with the IPPCF based on percentages and not on ransom.
And on the establishment of the university, there is a body mandated to run the university, which is called a university council, which gave you a letter of employment, which each one of you signed. I wanted to hear, as you are talking about this, where you have put each of these university councils who have the mandate to run a university, whether it's in Garissa, it runs the University of Garissa by its own established acts and mandate given. It runs the Narok or Masai Mara or any other university in this country. I did not get it very clear where you put it. Two, this country is moved and shifted steadily on the path of devolution. Things are being taken nearer to where they are and hopefully resolved at that point. And in this case, it is expected that the universities, councils who run the university.
Our reporter Shadrach Miti followed those proceedings in Parliament. He now joins us live from the August House for more details. Shadrach, thank you for joining us. What exactly are some of these grievances that the union officials were presenting before the Senate?
Indeed, thank you very much, Akisa. As you've said earlier, we are coming to you live from Parliament buildings, where a while ago, the university's academic staff union officials were meeting the Senate Committee on Education, where, among other things, they raised issues concerning the reasons as to why they went on strike. Remember, the university lecturers in the public universities in Kenya have been on strike for more than 30 days. In fact, to be specific, the strike is almost headed to the 40th day. So today they came to meet the Senate Committee on Education to raise some of the grievances that made them down their tools so that at least the government and the employers can listen to their issues. Among the issues they have been raising to the Senate Committee on Education is the matter of harmonization of their salaries. Remember, university lecturers have always been claiming that the salary structure within the teaching fraternity in the universities is full of distortions, where an assistant lecturer, for instance, earns as equal as a full professor. And so these are some of the things they have been raising, and they expected that the Senate Committee on Education can rein in. Remember, a few days ago, the talks that have been going on between the lecturers and the Interpublic Universities Councils Forum, IPP, KPCU, which is the body that brings together all councils from public universities. Those talks that were there with a view to trying to strike a common ground failed because on the other side the lecturers were claimed to be exhibiting a very hard distinct stand, and on the other hand the university councils were also not budging. So it has been like an issue that has created a complete standoff. So today they brought out some specific issues. For instance, on February 10th, the government gave about 10 billion shillings to the university staff. But now, according to the UWASU officials, this money, although it may look like a huge lump sum, but they feel this was very little, considering that this money, the 10 billion, has to be shared among the 3 university workers union. That is UWASU, KUSU, and KUDEIA. And so for them, according to their tabulation, these 10 billion are translated to a 3% increase in basic salary and a 1.6 increase in house allowance. But remember, according to them, they have been pushing for a 30% increase in basic salary starting 2012 up to date, and a 20% increase in house allowance starting 2012 up to date. But now, when they talked to the Senate Committee on Education, the chairman plus other senators who are there, they expressed their concern but went ahead to request them that at least they would reconsider going back to class even as the talks continue. Akisa.
All right, so you say that the Senate has told them to reconsider going back to class. Have they affirmed that they will stop the strike, or they will continue until they reach an agreement with the government? And while you're answering that, who else is expected to appear before the Senate committee?
Now, remember, when, according to the CBA, remember the lecturers have been pushing for the implementation, not just implementation, but for talks and complete discussions about this collective bargaining agreement that between the lecturers and the government of 2013 up to 2017. Now, according to this CBA, it is supposed to be implemented on 1st July 2013, but that one has never happened. And so some of the reasons as to why these lecturers are pushing for this is to ensure that the CBA is implemented. And so when the Senate committee requested them to go back to class, even as they continue looking into this matter, they said they can only decide otherwise if the 10 billion that was forwarded to them by the government can be enhanced, so that at least it can capture the desire of having a 30% basic salary increment ranging from 2012 up to date, and a 20% house allowance increase starting from 2012 up to this time. And so when that one happened, they made that very clear to the Senate committee, and it's at that point that the Senate committee promised them that they will be calling other stakeholders. Remember, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, SRC, that is Salaries and Remuneration Commission, and the IPCCUF, that is the Interpublic Universities Council Forum, has also to appear there, because remember, these are very key stakeholders in all this process. Because for the salaries or for any monies to be awarded and forwarded to the lecturers as they demand, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission has to affirm that and has to give its note over the same. So unless the Salaries and Remuneration Commission appears before the Senate committee, then so that it can pronounce its stance, then the process will still be nowhere to completion. Akisa.
Shadrach, thank you. Our reporter Shadrach Miti there joining